Hello everyone, my name is Sharon Raju. Today I will be explaining Section 5 and Section 7 of Transfer of Property Act 1882. Section 5 of TPA explains transfer of property as an act by which a living person conveys property in present or in future to one or more other living person or to himself and one or more other living person, and to transfer property is to perform such act. From Section 5, we can conclude that there are 6 essential features which must be fulfilled for the transfer of property. The first one being an act. Act means that there must be an activity or process, that is that no transfer can take place automatically, as in the case of will or inheritance. Any action is necessary on the part of transferor for a valid transfer of property. The second essential is living person. Transferor can be a living person or juristic person only. According to second paragraph of Section 5, which was added by Amending Act 1929, juristic person are companies, firm, corporations, universities, etc. are also included in the definition of living person. However, living person does not include idols. Idols, that is God, are not juristic persons, therefore their property cannot be transferred. It is only a kind of devotion. Secondly, courts can also not be regarded as a living person, therefore transfer made by the order of court, that is court sale, is not transfer of property within the meaning of Section 5. Third essential is conveyance. Conveyance in layman language means to transfer. That is, rights are transferred from one living person, that is transferor, to another living person, that is transferee, which were earlier not there. That means that new rights for the transferee are created. Only a transferor who can transfer the property in which he has a title or interest. He cannot transfer a property which does not belong to him. Further, the conveyance word need not be specifically used in the transfer deed. The act itself clears that the conveyance was present. So we can say that conveyance is doing of the act, and therefore for a transfer of property, conveyance must be present. The next essential is in present or in future. A property can be transferred with the immediate effect, that would be a present transfer, or it can take place on a future date, that is a future transfer. The illustration that A transfers his property to B for his life and then to C means that the transfer to B was in present, that is for his life, and after his death the property would be transferred to C, and therefore the property which is transferred to C is in future, therefore it is said to be on a future date. The property can also be transferred on the fulfillment of certain condition. For example, if a person states that he would transfer his property to his son if he attains good marks in his exam, that is a valid transfer which would actually take place on the fulfillment of certain condition, although the transfer was declared on that particular day. The important point which must be remembered is that property must be present property and not a future property. That means the transferor must have right on that property which he wants to transfer on the date when he declares the property to be transferred. The next point is related to transferee. A property can be transferred to one or more living person or to himself and one or more living person. Transferee can also be a minor or insane person. That is, he must not be a competent person to contract. Even a child in mother's womb can be a transferee. The only condition that a transferee must be in existence when the transfer is made. To explain this, I would like to suggest a illustration. If a transferor makes a transfer deed stating that he would transfer his property, say X, to his daughter's child, who is not in existence on the date when the transfer was made, such transfer is void. Reason behind this is that it is uncertain whether the daughter would have a child or not in the future. Generally, a person cannot transfer a property to himself, but he can transfer the property to himself in some other capacity. For example, if a person has a trust and he is a sole trustee in that trust, he can transfer some of his property to that trust. This would mean that there are two different legal status. The transferor is a individual person, and the transferee is that person but in different legal status, that is a sole trustee. The next essential is property. Property includes property of all descriptions, that is of all kinds. It can be immovable, movable, tangible, intangible. Transfer can be of all rights in the property or for some rights in the property. All right means that absolute interest is transferred, and if some rights are only transferred, that means it is a limited interest transfer. The property must be present property, it cannot be a future property. The transfer of future property is a void transfer. Now, I would like to examine certain transactions and explain if they are transfer of property or not within the meaning of this act. The first is family settlement. Family settlement is not a transfer of property under this act, as when in a joint property the property is divided or family settlement takes place, no new rights are created. As in joint property, members already have a special share in the property, though not separated. Next is compromise. It is not a transfer of property. Compromise means agreement for the settlement of doubtful claim. Doubtful claim itself means that the interest is already there but it is doubtful. Therefore, like family settlement, here too the title or interest of the property are antecedent or already existing. The next is partition. When there are co-owners in a property and the property is divided, each member get merely the separate right of enjoyment, but no new rights are created, and therefore there is no conveyance in the conveyance of the property. Therefore, it is not a transfer of property. Next is surrender. Surrender means merging of a lesser interest with a greater interest in such a manner that the greater interest is not enlarged. Therefore, no new interest are said to be taking place. Therefore, it is not a transfer of property. Next, relinquishment. It is also not a transfer of property, as it means that a person is only giving up his rights, but there is no intention to create interest in favor of another person. Next, release. Release is a transfer of property. Release means that a larger interest falls into a smaller interest in such a way that smaller interest is enlarged. That means new titles or interests are created. Therefore, it is a transfer of property. Moving on to section 7, person competent to transfer. Every person competent to contract and entitled to transferable property or authorized to dispose of transferable property not his own is competent to transfer such property either wholly or in parts, and either absolutely or conditionally, in the circumstances, to the extent and in the manner allowed and prescribed by any law for the time being in force. Person competent to contract are mentioned under Section 11 of Indian Contract Act 1872. The first condition is that the person must be of the age of majority, that is above the age of 18 years. Secondly, he must be of a sound mind. Thirdly, he must not be otherwise disqualified. Disqualification means legal inability. The second point under Section 7 states that he must be entitled to transferable property. That means that the transferor must have a right in the property he wants to transfer. Or he must be authorized to dispose of the property. That is, he must be authorized by the person to whom the property belongs. The transferor has a right to transfer his property either wholly or in parts. For example, he can transfer certain rights in the property only, or he can transfer all the rights in the property. The transfer can be absolute or conditional. Conditional means on the fulfillment of any condition, the transfer would take place in the circumstances, to the extent, and in the manner allowed and prescribed by any law for the time being in force. That means that the manner in which the transfer is to take place is described by any law for the time being.